All right, what's popping, everybody? How we feeling? Mm, Let me tell y'all something. I almost didn't make it today. I almost didn't make it today. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Let me tell you something. Miami owes me nothing. I had a great weekend. Okay, probably a little bit too much fun, child. Went to the beach, went out. It was just a lot of things, a lot of moving parts, child. And I got in. I was like, oh, I gotta go to court. Man. But I'm here. I'm tired as hell. But I'm here. All right. I do have a quick update for real quick. So, sad news. I'm probably not going to be at court tomorrow. I'm leaving tomorrow because I got to get home. You know, it's the holiday. I don't want to be traveling the day before, and I want to be in my bed and preparing my food and all of that for Thanksgiving. I don't want to be traveling on Thanksgiving Eve into Thanksgiving. So, today was the last day that I was going to be at court, but we're still going to be getting the updates. Okay. So, but I think we're at the just and we're at the crux, we're at the end. Everything is getting redundant. Um, so we will be wrapping up here. But what I will tell you though, today is going to be about the notes, but it's going to really be off the recollection of my head, like what I'm saying. And I just want to address something. Shout out to Joe Button. Shout out to academics. Shout out to all and shout out to that surprise witness. Shout out to everybody that has been, posting and just, saying positive things about the coverage that we're doing here. I don't really know what this angle is that Armand goes to court and lies. I don't know if there's like haters online or you guys are just trying to, or there's people trying to discredit me because I'm not white, or I don't know. I don't know. It's just like a lot of weird energy in regards to me being at the trials. I don't know if people are like kind of a little jealous because, I have an audience and they care to hear my opinion. I don't know, but I'm seeing a lot of people online making it seem like I'm somehow going to courts and lying about what's going on. And this journalist is more credible than me. And why are people taking my news? And why are people, I don't lie about shit. Okay. And I got to respond, but I have major news publications messaging me now to get input. I mean, shout out to Vanity Fair. Have a great relationship with them. He's hitting me up today. I done did plenty news from Nancy Grace to TMZ to iHeartRadio to News Nation to Pix 11, HBO. Not because I've lied, okay? Not because I'm a liar. I done been on news stations, documentaries, not because I go in court and make up lies. So just respectfully, you may not like the way I give it up, but you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to follow me. You can actually go and read it from someone else. Period. So at the end of the day, I'm here for the people, my fans and my followers and my supporters that flew me out here to cover this trial for them. And so that's why I'm here. All right. And instead of hating, you guys should understand and respect that new media is here. And because there's a lot of people that want to do what we do, instead of hating, actually follow the blueprint and learn. All right. And be supportive. But I say that to say today was a interesting day. Both sides were fighting. Okay. Fighting in a good way, fighting in a very good way. Today, to me, was all about proving Milagro as media for her side, and for the plaintiff Megan Thee Stallion side was all about proving she wasn't media. Now, I want to tell you why that is so important. Because Milagro Gramz, if she is considered media, this can change the whole trajectory of this case. A lot of people don't want her to be considered media, not even the journalists. And for a minute, I was confused as to why, like, a lot of people just like when how you're talking to people about the case and seeing what's going on and getting their opinions, and for me, I'm one of those people that if Milagro has a great day, I'm going to say she had a good day. If Megan had a great day, I'm going to say she had a great day. It's just certain people, you just feel like Milagro's never having a great day. And I'm like, or they're not really saying, you just the energy around it is like, well, she's not really having a great day. And my thing is, we don't have to be friends. We don't have to be cool. But I have to figure out, like, okay, so what was it? But today I realized today's fight is about Milagro being media or not. And the reason why, because in the state of Florida, there's protections for journalists and people that are considered media. And one of those protections are, in order to be able to file a defamation suit, you have to have given them a cease and desist or some sort of warning before you just hit them with a lawsuit. If you don't send them a cease and desist and give them an opportunity to take it down, because traditional journalists, they're able to, like, if they post something, they publish something, then whoever feels a way about it, they're able to say, hey, I didn't like this. Can you take this down? And they have like up to like maybe the 24 to 72 hours to remove whatever they published. Milagro didn't get that. She just got hit with a lawsuit. However, if she gets deemed media, that defamation suit gets dropped. Well, at least that count. That can be huge. That can be huge. Now, remember, they had tried to motion for Milagro to be media in the beginning of this trial. And the judge, remember, the headline was going around and saying, Milagro's not media, she's not media. Everybody was gagging, she's not media, she's not a journalist. Well, the judge came back today and said, well, she denied that in the beginning because they didn't have all the information. Based on what was presented in the beginning, she didn't qualify Milagro as media. They've provided more information now. And the judge was pretty much like, so there's a new motion to categorize her as media. So either you, Milagro's team, and Megan's team, you work out on the verdict form what is considered media, and does she fall under those guides, and you let the jury pick to see if she's media or not. Or I will motion right now, I will decide under law if she's media or not. We went over, this is why I'm late, we went over time because they had to figure out how they're going to do it. Milagro's team was like, we can do it right now, because I'll tell you, that judge felt like, if you're asking me, I feel like that judge will deem Milagro as media based off of what she's seen. I'm going to go over the receipts and stuff today. Based off of what was presented today in court. And I feel like Megan's team felt that way, and they did not want the judge to rule on that. So what they're going to do is they've agreed to allow the jury to select in their mind if they feel like Milagro is media or not. The judge said if the jury selects yes, then you have that answer. Then that defamation thing is kaput. If they say no, then Milagro gets a chance to, fight it, and the judge can try to rule after. So they get a chance to try to like appeal it, or, go back and argue like why they don't agree with the jury. So they get a second chance. So I think that that's very important in this case, because it sets a precedent. And this might be my bias leaning out. I'm going to say it right here. I want Milagro to be considered as media, period. Because it sets a precedent that you don't just get to feel some type of way because I don't agree with you, that you feel like you're going to sue me without warning. And I realize a lot of the journalists don't want Milagro to win because they feel some type of way because we're occupying the space. Some of them are mad. They feel like we went to school for 4 years. You not a journalist. So there's still this, and a lot of them are mad because we get the views, we get the followers, we get the engagement. And they feel like, girl, they done racked up all these student loans. And how are you coming into the media space? And so I was like, oh, that's why they're not rooting for Milagro. But it would be crazy for me in this instance to want to see Milagro crash and burn, especially here, because Milagro sitting on that stand represents me. You don't like what I'm saying. You want to just decide that I'm picking on you. So you're going to send me a lawsuit and throw me into a financial ruin because I don't have no money. And Or you feel, though, that I'm not protected by the media protections, so you're not going to go after other people that can be considered media. You're going to go after me and try to make an example out of me because everyone else, Joe Budden, academics, they have enough media on them where they can be considered media. You just hit me with a lawsuit. These celebrities need to know, bitch, it's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day. New media is here. Now, everybody, I don't think should be considered new media just because they spit through their microphone and get on, TikTok or do whatever they need to do. However, Milagro, I feel like, has went through the proper channels and she's shown why she is new media. Okay, we're going to get into that. So I'm not going to sit up here on my microphone and wish I see her. I may not like her. We may not be the best of friends. But Milagro and I see myself in her as far as the new media. Does that make sense? So I'm not here for them to discredit her because that's the thing that everybody wants to do online. Y'all not credible. Y'all not media. No, she will change the game if they grant her as media, because now people are going to have to put some respect on us, and that will then be the headline. Milgaro Gramz classified as media, defamation count dropped. Gag. That's how you break that up. So I'm hoping that for that, she is considered media, because I'm media. We should have those same protections to where it's like you don't just get to throw a lawsuit on us because you don't like us, because you don't like a tweet. Because you wouldn't do that to other media sources because they have certain protections. So for that, I do think that Milagro should be considered media. And I do realize that a lot of journalists feel some type of way about new media in the building because their bias is showing. So we'll see what happens. All right. So Megan Thee Stallion hit the stand today again. She must have been watching videos. She must have been watching lives because her energy was totally different today. Her energy was completely different today. And she was a little bit more calm, right? So today, they did a great job by almost making me feel, this is my opinion, this is my perception. I don't care what anybody else is telling you. But from my perception, it almost made it feel like in court today, to me, that they did a great job of almost proving that Megan Thee Stallion was almost picking on Milgaro Gramz. Because they went into asking her, they put up videos of academics, obviously, Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit, just a bunch of different people that had said negative things about Megan Thee Stallion. They did a collage from Megan Thee Stallion's own documentary where all these people said that Megan didn't get shot and Megan was a liar, this, that, and the third. And they pretty much asked her, so why does Milagro affect you so much? Like, in reality, you really don't care about Milagro's opinion. She said, I don't care about Milagro's opinion, but I care about what she's doing because she's the mouthpiece for Tory. I don't like the things that she said about the shooting. I don't like the deep fake. I don't like what she said about my family. It's a lot of things that she's done that I don't like. And then they played a little bit of her deposition, and they said, why do you care so much of what Milagro says? She said, I care that she's the captain of the Take Megan Down, the Hate Megan movement. Milagro's lawyer said, I feel like your issue is with Tory Lanez, so why are you affected by Milagro? Do you have hatred in your heart for Tory Lanez? She said no. What is your feelings towards Tory? She said, I don't think he's a good person. I think he's dangerous. I think he should repent and apologize to me. So he said, so you put Milagro in the same category because she associated with Tory Lanez? She said, I do believe because she's a bad person. Yes, I do. So your decision to sue Milagro stems from the fact that she doesn't have millions of dollars, right? That's what it is. Like other people that talk bad about you. That's why you're suing her. Let's just keep it real. You know, she don't got no money. Megan said, "Are you saying I'm suing her because she don't got no money?" I'm suing her because I don't like the things that she has said. And I didn't say she's the only one I'm suing. They said, "Well, have you sued anyone else yet?" No, not yet. So apparently she's gearing up to sue other people. She just probably needs to see how this is going to land. And then they posted pictures of Milagro Gramz in Miami taking pictures and stuff. She was like, "I don't like Milagro is like pictured up with the family, and I don't like that Milagro is kind of bragging that she's cool with the family." So that's another reason why Megan is sued. She don't like it. He said, "So are you suing her because she's a woman?" And honestly, she's the only woman that has a close relationship with Tory Lanez right now. I mean, that's the only one I could think of at this time. Like, I'm like, "Ooh, that's somebody sound like they've been watching this show." She asked that woman, "Are you suing her because she's a female that's close to Tory Lanez?" Basically, he was getting that girl like, "What's the tea? Like, do you just not like her? Like, why does she keep itching? Like, what's the vibe? Like, you suing her because you know she can't afford it, huh? You suing her because she's a woman and she's she has a relationship with Tory Lanez? Like, why are you at her? Like, why is it something about Milagro and encompassing with everything else everyone else has said about you? You're zeroing in on her. Why? When she has a fraction of the following, she has a fraction of the influence, but something about her, you have fixated on the fact that you're going to sue her so much so you didn't even give her a warning, send her, you skipped a step and didn't even send her a cease and desist. You went straight to suing her. So then they started getting into the music and stuff. They said, "Does Kelsey write music?" She was like, "I don't know. Something like that." She was like, "I don't think so." They said, "Let's talk about Kelsey's diss track." She said, "That was a mess. I don't care about that." And they said, "So did you listen to it? Like, did that affect you?" They said, "What, rapping? About what? Kelsey rapping?" No, I mean, I don't care about Kelsey rapping. Because they said, "Why don't you care about Kelsey rapping?" Well, because if we're talking about the Tory Lane shooting, like that wasn't at the top of my mind. Like Kelsey rapping was not at the top of my to-do list to worry about that. Like I didn't even listen to that song. Like, I don't know. That didn't affect me. Oh, okay. So that didn't affect you, but Milagro Gramz did. And she was spilling tea and saying who shot you and all kind of stuff like that in the record. You didn't listen to it. Did T Fair send you the track? No. Oh, but he sent you Milagro's track. Did Partisan Fontaine affect you in the diss track? I didn't listen to that one all the way through. Would you say people paid more attention to Partisan Fontaine or Milagro? I feel like people will be paying more attention to Milagro. She has a bigger platform than Partisan. Basically, that's what she kind of gave. Like Milagro is bigger than Partisan, and people pay more attention to Milagro because she's talking to people, calling me a liar. They said, "Let's talk about your record, His." His was a song responding to a bunch of things, other rappers, people, haters online. So she clarified that it wasn't just Nicki. She didn't say it wasn't just Nicki, but she was basically like saying it was just a bunch of different people that, she was responding to in His. So he said, "Well, was His a diss towards Milagro?" No, it wasn't a diss. So it's not towards her. but people like her. So, okay, so you made a whole diss record responding to other people, but not Milagro. But she's the one that's affecting you. Okay. Bigfoot. I didn't listen to that all the way through, she says. You know, Bigfoot by Nicki Minaj? Well, why not? Have you responded to it? No. Why? It's silly. That was silly. I didn't want to keep listening to it. So she pretty much said Bigfoot was a silly record and she didn't want to keep listening to it and there was no need. Um, so you weren't affected. So you didn't listen to the Kelsey, Partisan, or Nicki. She's like, well, all these are just rappers. And these people feel like they might have good reason to diss me. Of course, Kelsey might feel like, okay, I'm not your friend no more. So we had a falling out. You want to diss me? Okay. Partisan, I will be mad too if I lost me as a girlfriend, you know, things like that. She didn't go into the Nicki piece. She do not want no smoke with Nicki. She didn't respond to what Nicki said at all. She was like, but these are rappers, and these are people doing rap lyrics and things like that. It's different than somebody just fixating and like picking on me per se. No one is listening to Party and Kelsey. Do you believe that Party and Nicki have a bigger platform than Milagro? I believe Nicki has a big platform. I don't believe Partisan does. But she didn't want to say bigger platform. She just said big platform. Well, Drake, didn't Drake do a line that said, the B lied about getting shot, but she's still a stallion? Megan Thee Stallion said, I don't think he was talking about me. I think he was talking about a girl getting butt shots and lying about it, but she's still curvy, kind of like a stallion. See, those are the games that she plays on the stand. Now, if Milagro would have said that, girl, you would have felt like she was talking about you. So you're telling me that you didn't think that B lied about getting shot, but she's still a stallion. He wasn't talking about you. He was talking about a girl that lied about got some butt shots, but she's still curvy. That's a double entendre at best. But you were definitely referenced. You tried it. She tried that. She tried it. But see, these are the things that the girls don't report. And then they be saying that I'm a liar. Girl, she tried that. But Drake has supported Tory and has a platform much, much, much bigger than Milagro Cooper. That didn't affect you at all? Well, I don't know if he's talking about me in this song. A lot of people use Stallion in their songs. Doesn't mean he's talking about me, Megan Thee Stallion. So let me see if I can pull this up. There's a hold on, y'all. I want to see if I can pull this tweet up. There was a tweet where I can't find it right now, but they put it in evidence. There was a tweet where Megan Thee Stallion, Milagro Gramz had tweeted, Is Megan Thee Stallion trying to deceive the courts again? And Megan Thee Stallion says she feels like that's when, because they're trying to say that Milagro said that Megan Thee Stallion perjured herself on the stand and she's like lying and deceiving the courts and this, that, and the third. But Megan was like, yeah, I feel like she's talking about me. And she's saying that I lied and this, that, and the third. But they're saying, well, how she said courts. What if she means police? What if she means just in general, doctors, whatever, the court system, just the legal system as a whole? She's like, well, no, that's not what she's talking about. But to me, that's very interesting. You don't think that Drake is talking about you, but yet you can read through, you have no semantics for, you don't want to play the semantics game with when it comes to Milagro. It's just very much so like, no, I know she was talking about me, but you don't know that Drake was talking about you. That's the part that kind of starts to get me. Because it's like, you can kind of think around the direct shade from Drake, but then with this Milagro thing, it's like there's no semantics that can be played there. She literally has to be talking up straight about you. And she was like, what are you trying to say? That he said, I'm asking you, do you know if she was talking about courts or are you assuming? Megan said, the only court Milagro talks about is the Tory Lanez case. So that's your assumption. She said, that's what I believe. Milagro made it seem like, he had an unfair trial and he insinuated that it was a botched investigation. So they kind of went in on that. Are you aware that Miss Cooper read all the police reports, sat through the entire trial, and had 2 notebooks? You weren't at the trial the entire time, right? No. So she's more likely to have better knowledge than you. I don't agree, Megan Thee Stallion. Just because someone is sitting in court taking notes doesn't make it true. But this is her opinion, that it was a botched investigation. Yes? Yes. Does Milagro have to agree with you that the investigation was perfect? Does she have to agree? And they said, you want her to believe you, right? You want her to believe what you believe is true. And she said, I want her to believe the evidence. Child. They also said, would you believe that there were non-credible witnesses at the trial? Because Kelsey wasn't credible. And she said, well, Kelsey didn't tell the truth. They said, why can't you say Kelsey's not credible? Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to use that word. I'm going to say she was untruthful. I need to look up the definition of a non-credible witness. She didn't want to say non-credible witness because that's what Milagro had tweeted. So in this instance right there, from my interpretation, and this is why I started leaning towards a little bit of the Milagro side, because outside of all the things that you felt like, she said negative about you, it feels like Megan Thee Stallion is upset and mad that Milagro doesn't believe her and has a difference of opinion. And because the way that Milagro tells her opinion, you want to sue her for her opinion. Like, you can't sue me because I feel like it was a botched investigation. It's like, since when is that a problem for me to say, like, girl, I feel like that was a botched investigation? So now I can't, like, and so people are like looking at me like I'm not going for that shit, because now it's starting to get too muddy for me. Like, now I can't even say like that investigation was botched to me, or now I got to get sued. Hell no. I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that. I don't have to agree with you. Whether he shot you or whether he didn't, I could say, I don't think all the facts were clear. I don't agree. I was at the courtroom. I looked at the evidence. I felt like there was some loopholes in the story. I'm not saying, I just don't agree. I feel like she lied. So I don't think that, it was a fair trial. I'm okay to say that. And I can tweet that to my audience. Like, since when does it have to be, I have to agree with Megan Thee Stallion? Who the fuck are you? That's not fair. That's not fair. I don't have to agree with you. I don't have to agree. And I can say that I think the investigation was botched, and you're what? No. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I did not like that. Because it felt like you're mad at me because I don't agree. And now you're taking everything I say in reference to this case, even if it's my opinion, you're trying to use this to try to sue me. And in hindsight, while I don't have a dog in the fight, this matters to me because I can say something and pose a question. And that's what I do. I ask questions on my Twitter. I ask questions I start conversations. That's what we do. That's the difference between me and, new media and like traditional reporters. Not only do we go get the scoop, but we give our opinions and we pose questions. We start conversations. This is why we're more subjected to going more viral, but we're also more subjected to more scrutiny because we're just not reporting the story. We're giving you our opinions on the stories too. We're giving you our thought process. Reporters just tell you what happened. We give opinions and stuff, but you're not going to start suing me now for my damn opinion and me posing a question to my audience. Like, that's not cool. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. So you don't know if everyone in the jury was 100% credible. No, so this is all Milagros' opinion. Yes. But she's posting like it's facts. Okay. But it was Milagros' tweet, though. It was her opinion that the investigation would be botched, that, Megan, is this, this was about 20, all this case showed was, hold on, let me see if I can find that 20-year tweet. Hold on. This was what the tweet was about. Hold on, let me see. Hopefully I have it. Dang, I cannot find that tweet. But it was along the lines of, the investigation being botched and your son or your daughter can serve up to 20 years on a botched investigation, something along those lines. And it was her opinion, but Megan felt like she was stating it because she was facts. But it was just like, that's just how she talked. That's how she felt. Like, she felt like, girl, the investigation, they had non-credible witnesses. The investigation was botched because there was a lot of loopholes in it. And she felt like people was lying. And she felt like, people can get sentenced to a long period of time in jail based off of these things. Megan Thee Stallion didn't like that she tweeted that. So this is what Milagros' lawyer asked him. So you want anyone and Miss Cooper to be charged for defamation for this type of tweet? She said, yes. But it's more than just a tweet. And that's when I was like, oh, wait, hold on. You want these people to be charged for defamation because they don't agree with you. and they had their own realization of the trial. Fuck that. Absolutely not. Bullshit. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, these celebrities have gotten way too ahead of themselves. So I can't have an opinion on the way that the case went. That's just like me saying, all new, like a Milagro lose this case, all new media, you got to make sure that you got to kiss all these celebrities, and people can be bought and paid for and biased as hell or whatever, and you can lose the case. And all of a sudden I should be sued because that was my opinion after sitting in the court and looking at it. Whether you agree with me or not, you can have your own opinion. I should be sued? Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. And I'm not going with it. I'm not going. Now, a lot of journalists will probably agree, but you got to understand, they have a bias and they don't want us in the space. So when you read the write-ups, you're probably going to read a different energy. But this doesn't affect them because they're protected. So that's why a lot of them don't want us to be protected under the media protections, which Milagro is fighting for right now. Right now, we're just sitting ducks in some states. You get what I'm saying? So, but as a content creator, as a storyteller, as a commentator, as an opinion giver, as a question asker, bitch, you're not suing me because I don't agree. I'm not rooting for that. I'm not rooting for that. You're not suing me because I'm posing a question. I'm not rooting for that. I just can't. I should be sued for defamation for questioning the outcome of a case? No. No. I can't agree with that. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't like that. Somebody said people want facts, not opinions. Go read the news article. Like, don't go read a newspaper. Go watch, you know what I mean? Like, some of our stuff is based in opinions, facts, commentary. If you just want strictly like fact-based like report, just go read a report. Don't come and watch a talk show. Don't listen to a radio show. Don't listen to a podcast based on opinions, thoughts, and questions and commentary. Like, I don't understand. Like, that's crazy. So so now Milagro, well, she said it's more than that. It's because of the deep fake video. It's just all the things that Milagro has done. But essentially, what I've gathered from Megan Thee Stallion, you are upset. You don't like her. You're upset that she don't agree with you. You're upset that her tweets get some traction, and she has people that also follow her that don't believe you, and you want her to shut the fuck up. Period. And you were able to hook her on the deep fake. Now, Milagro takes the stand for her side. They remove Megan Thee Stallion. We go to lunch. There were some more questions. Megan's going to actually take the stand again tomorrow because there were some more questions that he wanted to ask her. They just weren't able to admit everything into evidence. But that was just the crux of it, okay? They brought Milagros on the stand. Milagros did a great job with her team. So basically what they did here, and I want you to follow me, what they did here, they were establishing where Milagro came from, her upbringing, why she is who she is, and all of that. So they did a good job by talking about where her upbringing was from, how, her mom went to school for journalism, pretty much failed because she got caught up on drugs and the nightlife, ended up staying with her grandmother. Her childhood was okay. Christmases and stuff were good, but her grandmother ruled with tough love. So if they wouldn't put the forks up the right way, the grandmother would throw all the forks on the floor and say, "Get this mother shit up, you stupid mother. You stupid. Get the fucking forks up, you." Something not like literally like that, but it's something a little like that. And then she said, if she would sleep in too late, she had to go to school, the grandmother would come off the bunk beds and rip the covers off her and say, "It up, get your mother up, you gotta get the fuck, go to school." You know what I mean? So that's how but she would say it with love. She said she wouldn't get a lot of hugs and affection as kids. It was mother, you got a roof over your head. That's love. Does that make sense? You got somewhere to sleep at night, bitch. I love you. That's what that's given. So essentially, she was saying that it was rough. Okay. Now, that goes into the language of her show. She said her show is the foundation of her upbringing. It started out as a hobby when she was back in 2017, 2018. She was on Love and Hip Hop Review. She was getting a bunch of views. And then she started being more serious with it, right? But I think that they were speaking to the fact that because they kept playing these audios where she would be super ghetto. Milagro was ghetto, nigga girl. She's ratchet on the thing. But you needed to understand, like, where is this coming from? Is this an act? Or is this really, are you a ratchet ass bitch? But Milagro speaks so clearly and so, she articulates so well on the stand, you would believe that, oh my God, this is a character. And that's what she said. And I believe it, and because I know her too, but it's more like she kind of has this homegirl down to earth. We playing spades in the back. You know what I mean? We from the hood, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to talk to my people, you know what I mean? Shooting dice and food and slanging food stamps. And nigga, what? And fuck that bitch. I think she should clean that up. But that's what her people like. They smoke black and mouths, you know what I'm saying? And roll up a blunt, and slip slow. Hey, that's what she liked. But, and I get it. She said that's part of her upbringing. And so she said she always had to be proper and clean and clear, like through school. The fact that she has daughters, she goes to, their meetings. She always has to be professional and clean. She wanted a place where she could just sit back and just be ghetto, I guess. Shit. So that was kind of establishing the way that she talked, because that's kind of one of the counts. Like, how is she talking reckless about Megan Thee Stallion and using the vulgar language and cursing? So it kind of established, like, well, girl, that's the part of my show. That's just that's the style of my delivery. It's a performance element. So I think they did a good job by showing that there. And then they went into her trademark. So she has an LLC and she has 2 trademarks for Milgaro Gramz and Mob Radio. And it shows that it's for entertainment purposes, all the little legal stuff, blah, 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 blah. So now they're starting to establish, this is why the judge, in my mind, started viewing her differently. Because she's ghetto as shit, but yet she's got 2 trademarks registered for like entertainer, commentary, stuff like that. She's got her LLC. Then they started to show a DM where the Shade Room reached out to her in 2019 and offered her a collaborative deal with the Shade Room and Spotify. They also pulled up the on-site radio show that she did with Ra Ali. They pulled up the HBO special. Now, I don't know if she lied or not, that they asked her, did they call her a reporter on there? She said reporter. I don't remember. You guys can go back and see. So she talked about how she had a contract with Stationhead, and Tory Lanez didn't give her that contract. Tory Lanez's family didn't get her the contract. She had the contract before that. HBO documentary, 5 Shots. Of course, I was in that. She said she spent about $10,000 on equipment. She said her modem itself is $3,000 so that she can stream all over the platform. What she would do on Station Head, because she was contracted for them, she would do the show there, but then she would give a visual on other platforms because Station Head doesn't have a visual. So what she's doing here now is establishing that I'm media. Are you guys catching it? So they're walking her through to show the Shade Room. Boom. They wanted you to do a Spotify deal. Boom. Here's your trademark. Here's your LLC. Here's your HBO thing. Here's this. Here's that. So you are actually media. Here's how much you've spent on equipment. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, this is media. You think flying out to look like this shit is not cheap. My cameras and soundboards and all this stuff. We are media. Real media. I don't know what you call it. I've spent hundreds of $1,000s on stuff. This is media. I don't just go with a notebook and a laptop. It's a real production here. So they tried to get rid of the deep fake. The deep fake is not going to get put out. They tried to motion for the deep fake to get put out. That didn't get put out, right? So then after that, they did something so great. They talked about Milagro and how she runs her show. Started from the beginning to the end. And I was trying to figure out where they're going with this. They first started with the disclaimer showing that the views and opinions and this and that, third, you guys know the disclaimer is like, all right, this is for entertainment purposes, blah, 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 blah. Boom. And actually, it's like, all right, girl, you set your stuff up. She really set her stuff up good. All content creators, like, honestly, this is journalism school 101, sitting in these court cases. I'm literally learning, like, okay, I need to set my stuff up like this. I'm learning some shit from her, no shade. So, but what was interesting, I didn't know where they was going with this video. Megan Thee Stallion was not mentioned in the header or the thumbnail. And Milagro does a thing where she kind of lists what you're going to talk about, what she's going to talk about. Megan Thee Stallion was not in the bullet points of the topics for that day. However, Megan Thee Stallion did become a topic in the video. So they started off and asked her, well, how do you break up your show? She said, well, we start with like some serious news, and then we may get into, some music stuff. Then we may get into, some other stuff. And then we may get into, boom, some celebrity news, entertainment stuff. And so they started off with her getting into a news article. Then she was getting into some stuff with like Africa and Tiffany Haddish and just a variety. They showed her get into a variety of different things. This was a 2-hour show. Then Megan Thee Stallion came up because there was a tweet about Beat King and Megan Thee Stallion. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Let me see if I can show you this. Okay, so boom. So this came up. This is important. So you see that? So she was talking about this. She was talking about this, right? In her show. So that's how Beat King came up because, apparently, Megan Thee Stallion, Beat King feel like he don't like Megan Thee Stallion. Everybody kept saying, well, why don't Beat King and Megan Thee Stallion do work together, right? And so she was basically saying that, Megan Thee Stallion is a two-faced ass B, but Megan Thee Stallion is justified in not wanting to work with Beat King if she feels that way. This is on the audio. It's important because, let me show you. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, boom. Remember, this is important because apparently this is what Beat King, he had posted this picture of Megan Thee Stallion being hella big next to a fan. Right? Now, last week, Megan's team started here with this picture and the audio of Milagro saying, "You see how big that B is? You see how big she and y'all think I'm gonna fight her? That's a big old B. I thought I had to throw a card. I'm not finna fight that big motherfucking bitch. You see how big that big? That's a big ass hoe. But you know what? It is what it is." But the point is, I'm glad Milagro got on the stand today and it kind of changed my perception because what Megan's team was doing, they were cropping. They were cropping shit because the full context was Milagro didn't just pull Megan Thee Stallion up and just start dragging her about being big and tall. She referenced the fact that this is why Beat King and Megan Thee Stallion would never have a collaboration because Beat King actually was the topic along with Megan Thee Stallion. This is why they won't have a collaboration because he posted this picture. Then Milagro's fans were just kind of making fun of Megan being tall. So, Megan was like, Milagro was just talking shit, being funny, more comedic. But what's even more interesting is that came up and about 1 hour and 40 or 30 minutes into the show. And that topic lasted 10 minutes. And she moved on to Offset. So the point is, she was not in the thumbnail. She was not in the title. She didn't just jump on there and start dragging Megan Thee Stallion for being big and tall. She stood on it for 10 minutes, and you didn't know that was even going to come up in the video. So a person would have had to have sit and watched an hour and 30 minutes to even find that clip. So that's important because Megan's team used that clip and audio and picture in an attempt to make it seem like Milagro would just viciously attack Megan Thee Stallion out of nowhere. They didn't give any context to how the clip got there. They just went straight to the jokes. They just went straight to the roasting and the gagging. And it made it just feel like these were a bunch of unwarranted attacks on Milagro without giving any backstory. So today, a lot of what they did was they opened up the thread. When I mean opened up the thread, meaning let's watch the beginning, the middle, and the end to see how we got here. Instead of looking at a piece of the text message, let's open up and look at how the text message started and how it ended. Megan's team did a great job of trying to manipulate the jury because they would find what they wanted to see and they would crop it and they'd show that as like harassment. But then if you open it up a little bit, you'll be like, oh, wait, there's more context here. There's a little bit more context here. So this wasn't just blatantly, this woman was out here just attacking this girl every day. And then it was like, girl, this was within an hour and this was a 2-hour show. She talked about it for 10 minutes and then moved on. So I thought that was very interesting because they used this audio last week in an attempt to make it look like Milagro was just bashing her when there was a whole streamline of story that how that picture even got into the stream. Milagro didn't just wake up and be like, oh, girl, I'm going to just start trashing Megan Thee Stallion. Girl, I would have put that picture up too and we would have roasted her and gagged her and kikied. That's what we do. Y'all know that. It wasn't just like, oh, everybody just let's roast and gag Megan right now. Like, it was like, girl, B King posted that picture of her. It's a key. She looked big as hell. The girl started keying. All right, girl, and on to the next. Boom. Come on. You're not suing me because of that. You're not. You're not suing me because of that. Kiss my ass. Um, they were like, so what was you saying about, when you were saying those things about how big she was and you were this, that, they were like saying, and she was like, well, honestly, I'm like 5'1", and she's like 6 feet. I think at that time she was like 230 pounds. I'm liable to drug it. Like, I think it was like, she's over 200 pounds. I was just saying, she's big. I can't physically take her. That would be ridiculous. I would never want to fight her, as she said on the stand today. Um, I said, a much better day for Milagro today. Then they got into the station head. Milagro Gramz apparently made they said they said they said that he apparently made hold on. They said she apparently made $6,300 on her contract. That was a Q contract. And $1,000 on her Discord. Right? But she lost that. They fired her because of the Megan Thee Stallion. So she lost that money. You guys know I don't like that. I don't like that. I know what that's like when these girls be trying to stop your bags. I don't like that. I'm not gonna be here rooting for these celebrities, and I'm on the side of new media because, girl, why are you calling around? Why are you getting me fired? I'm very triggered by that. That triggers me. So she lost her job. She lost her job. And so they were painting a picture of the fact that, girl, I got no benefit from being on Team Tory Lanez. Actually, I lost my job and I lost a lot of followers, and I've been dragged and shit, I'm getting sued. They said, do you have a cult-like following? She said no. She definitely do. That's a lie. She lied there, but I'm okay with it, girl. You lied, but you got a cult. Girl, they be lying with you, and y'all was doxing and doing all that. You did do that. Lie. The devil is a lie. But just girl, you lied on that one. There's no shade. Whoop-de-doo. You definitely lied on that, though. You lied on that one, boo. Hold on. Then they asked, does she feel like other people, in her field do the same thing? And like how she talked about, Nick at Night, how Nick at Night, they had talked before. I forgot how Nick at Night actually came up, but it was just more like, all of us kind of go through different things, but then we have our report and we're cool. Cause like basically a lot of creators do what Milagro do. We were similar to each other, but she talked about how her and Nick at Night got into it at one point, but then they were cool. Everybody went to lunch and everything pieced up. I forgot exactly how Nick at Night got involved, but it was in conjunction to like, some of her peers because they asked like, do her peers respect her that do the same thing, like other content creators like us? And I think she mentioned like Nick and I, they were able to come to a place and agree to disagree and be cool and stuff like that. So boom. So she threw Nick and I a shout out on the stand today. Then she went and got into, so what is the issue with Megan Thee Stallion? She pretty was like, Megan Thee Stallion is a self-admitted liar. Okay. And the courts mean it could be police, hospital staff, things like that. How did you get your info? I will get my info from MSNBC, The police reports, CBS, TMZ. So she would get her. They were just trying to say, like, okay, where are you getting your information? How are you reporting? Did you defame her? Emilio Garcia, the guy that was suing Megan Thee Stallion for, I guess penetrating her friend while he was in the car with her, that got brought up. They talked about that. She lied about Gayle King. They talked about that. She lied about the Megan and Kylie Jenner fight. Megan said there was no issue with that, but then Kylie Jenner actually put her ass out with the 6 security guards and told her, get the fuck out. She didn't. So Milagro was basically saying, Megan has lied about a lot of things, and this is why I came with my opinions and my conclusions that I'm okay to have. Now, I don't agree, but she should still be able to have her thought. I said Milagro was running it all down. She had went in for a minute talking. She's a self-admitted liar. She lied on Gayle King. She lied on this one. She lied on that. She lied to the TV. She lied to the press. She lied to the doctors. She lied to the damn dentist. She lied to the hospital staff. She lied to the police. She lied about the fight with Kelsey. She lied on the TMZ. She lied about the fight with the Kylie Jenner. I mean, she was just running it down. I'm like, well, shit, I couldn't write it all down fast enough. Damn. Tell me she lied without telling me she lied. Well, did she lie or did she lie? And shit. So, hold on. Okay, so another thing that I thought was interesting, they pulled up some tea where, I guess Milagro was supposed to do an interview with Sunstar, but the thing is, Milagro tweeted Sunstar and was like, okay, let's not do the interview tomorrow because Megan Thee Stallion is going to be dropping this music video, and I don't want it to come across as a slight to her because, it's just I don't want it to get too mixy and messy. So they also showed where she was like trying to be cognizant of things being messy in regards to Megan and Tori and Sunstar. So they were trying to establish a boundary of like, it's not all like spiteful stuff. Then we got to the deep fake. I was like, how are they going to do this deep fake? How are they going to do the deep fake? So for me, when we got to the deep fake video, I was like, okay, I was seated for this. So what happened with the deep fake video, they were trying to establish that I think that Milagro thought that it was really Megan Thee Stallion, but she didn't post it with malicious intent to attack her. Now, if it can go a couple ways, because you kind of know what you're doing, but at the same time, it wasn't like posted it and go to my likes, shady. At least the way that they presented it, they did a good job by kind of like, oh, well, it wasn't just so much like a go to my likes, shady set. So they played the station head. This is what Megan's team never did. Milagro's team took us through the day of the deep fake. So Milagro was doing her show. Then she started gagging. Like, what? Then they was like, oh, it's the video of Megan Thee Stallion. So she's over here trying to find the video. Then they play where she gags. She says, oh my God, is this real? This better not be real. This got to be AI. Like, what is this? So they play it like she's shocked. She's confused. And she's literally like, you know what? You should sue whoever created this video or someone that's just promoting it. But she wasn't showing it on her page. She was just looking at the video. She was describing what the video looked like. And then I think she liked it for her audience. And I think she was just like, go to my likes if y'all want to see the video. I don't know. To me, her natural reaction, and y'all might call me biased, but I just feel like her natural reaction didn't feel like malicious posting. Was it still stupid to like? Yes. That probably was like not the best in the moment thing to do, but she probably wasn't thinking about it because she probably was like, girl, I really don't like men, but girl, and this is some tea and this celebrity note, and it looks real. It's like, oh my God, but I'm not gonna post it, but I'm gonna like it. So the girls that haven't seen it, y'all can go see it there for the people that want to get the update. I don't know. They could still probably get her on that, but they cleaned it up a little bit for me. They honestly did, because they played how it came about and how she found out about the video. Thank God she found out on air like that and it just didn't appear. And then she was just like tweeting, go to my likes. She found out on air. So that was great that we were able to hear that, because she had a natural reaction to the video. She was gagging like, girl, what? That's like somebody right now telling me it's such and such a naked video. I would be gagging right now. And I'd be like, girl, y'all haven't seen it. Go to my likes real quick. And I'm tweeting, go to my likes. Because everybody asked me for the video. Like, I just feel like this blends like content creator, new media, with a little bit, I don't fuck with you. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's both things. It's both things there. Because it's like, that's how we communicate. This is part of our communities. There's been many times that I've been like, okay, girl, go to my page. I'm tweeting it right now. Everybody on like, go to my Twitter right now, or I'm liking right now, because girl, it's a lot going on. So it's easy to get slipped up into that. You get what I'm saying? Without even just being like, oh girl, let me go find this deepfake video and post it of her naked. Like, it didn't feel like that. It did not feel like that. It didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like that. But she still shouldn't have done it. You know what I mean? But she's done it. So they might get her on that still. She still shouldn't have done it. But she probably will never do that again. Then the group chat thing, she explained that was just a group chat with her friends, whoever, nigga Shore. She explained that, it was pretty much like a playoff for Jersey Shore. And her and her friends, they call it nigga Shore, and it was just a chat with all her friends. And honestly, that's the 20,000 messages. But in the courts, they were putting out 20,000 deleted texts, and you know damn well them 20,000 deleted texts was not about Tory Lanez and wasn't to Tory Lanez and Daystar. I mean, in Sunstar. And if they were, why you didn't subpoena them other people's phone? But it was just like to throw off the jury, like, oh, it's 20,000 texts, but it clearly looked like a group chat with her homies. I don't know if she just renamed it that for the screenshot to delete it, but I don't know if I feel like that text thread had anything to do with Tory Lanez or this case. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but I just feel like, girl, it didn't give that. Because they're saying, because the thing is, Sunstar, they had 4 deleted texts. Nigga Shore was 20,000 deleted texts. My thing is, especially when we're talking about, like, coming from that Diddy trial, if you're looking for a paper trail and you've got forensics involved, you're going to bring in forensic accounting, forensic phone people. Like, they had records and American Express records, bank records. They saw the money coming in for the payment. You're not going to stop at Milagro's phone if you're really trying to get payment records. The thing is this, guys, whether you want to agree with it or not, there's literally no smoking gun here of the defamation and of her getting paid. There's no smoking gun of her working with Tory Lanez. I mean, you can look at and be like, okay, well, I see that they cool. Like, this is ultimately going to be up to the jury and how they are perceiving the different sides. But there is no smoking gun here. It's just not one. It's just all going to boil down to perception. It's no shade. It's not. It's no shade. There's no bam, I got you. Except the deep fake. I mean, that's the biggest gun they got. But like I said before, if they grant this whole media, they're going to gag on that defamation. And I feel like that judge was going to do it today. That's why Megan's team was like, "Oh, no, judge. We'll write something up on the verdict sheet and we'll throw it up in the air and take our chances with the jury classifying her as media or not." Because if the judge would have classified Milagro as media today, that defamation count would have been gone, boo. A lot of you girls would have been crying in the corner. So then they went into the gag order, how Megan Thee Stallion kind of violated the gag order. I'm not really sure what happened with that. It don't really seem like much really happened with that. So I kind of just moved on past that because I don't really want to talk to that because I really don't know what happened with that. They asked her, has she doxed anybody? No. They asked her, was she selling child? And she said, absolutely not. She talked about the gay man, that King Noir guy. She talked about him. She pretty much said that he got upset because his boyfriend in the chat outed him and Milagro wouldn't lie and say that he wasn't gay. And then he had got upset with her and was saying that that's not a friend. And he started talking real reckless and crazy. After she got him the job from on site, she went to Raleigh and got him fired. And she went to Station Head and got his episode taken down. So she pulled a nasty trick. So Milagro, so that's why he hates her. She got him fired from on site. She said he's a 40-year-old actor that never happened. He was in the closet as a gay man. He got outed. She didn't stand up for him and say that he wasn't gay. And then he talked recklessly and crazy to her. And so she got him fired and didn't want to do the show with him. And so ultimately, like, he is pissed. So he has a reason that he's going against her. So that's why he's upset, is what she said. At least she admitted that she got him fired. She admitted she got him fired, child. Child, this was some crazy shit too. They asked her how the hell did she find Megan Thee Stallion's address with T. Paris. She said that she looked at Megan Thee Stallion, went to vote, did register to vote, whether it was last year or this year, I can't forget, whatever year it was. And she looked at the little sticker on what city she was voting in, or what city and state, and then looked up Megan Thee Stallion's information on the voters registration, voters.org, and found the house address that she used to vote. I'm like, now, girl, you did do some doxing and stalking on the address. Because everybody in the court was like, girl, she did what? I think I even said, this bitch is crazy. How you look at the picture and just start digging up where I live? Bitch, you're crazy. Yes. Bitch is crazy. Now, this is where it got interesting. Interesting for me, at least I would say. They start talking about unite the people, because now they wanted to. Now what's happening now is, let's have a seat. Let's have here we go. So now what's happening is they're about to set the financial precedents up. If Milagro is getting paid by Tory Lanez, let's walk through how she is getting through this case. So apparently, we all know the Unite the People story. Caesar McDowell, whatever, was supposed to be working with Milagro Gramz. Okay, he was doing it pro bono. Okay, she paid him a retainer. I think she had raised $18,000 in like a slight GoFundMe. She gave Caesar $11,000. Caesar was supposed to find the lawyer. So Caesar is the middleman, basically the hustler that partners you up with a lawyer. Caesar took the $11,000 and gave the lawyer $7,000. The lawyer started getting frustrated because he wasn't getting all his money. Caesar told Milagro Gramz, "Was shithole, this is costing too much. I can't help you. I don't know what to do. You're going to have to figure this shit out on your own, boo. It's costing too much to keep filing and filing. I don't got it like that. I can't help you no more." Look around, took the money. The man ended up, she raised some more money, I think, got with the man again, but then the lawyer said, "You know what? I'm just going to pull out of the case because I don't trust Caesar. I don't want to work with Caesar. This is too messy. I'm not going to get my money. I'm not getting it on time. I don't want to deal with you or him." And after he pulled out, Caesar then pulled out and told Milagro, "This shit costs too much." So she lost Caesar and that man. Then she said she found another lawyer that was a black lady, but the black lady every other day needed another fee. She gave her a $5,000 retainer, but then the black lady always wanted to, if they got a forensics, we need a forensic. They got a forensics. So everything every other month was a fee. And eventually Milagro had fired her because she just was costing too damn much. Okay, that was Rhonda Dixon. Around that time, station head had fired her. Okay. Milagro Gramz says she has a currently negative $10,000 in her bank account. In credit card debt or something like that because she had to go and feed the kids. She ain't got no money right now. She's dead ass broke. They said, "When did you get your lawyer, Jeremy McClement?" She just got him in July. I don't know these other two ladies, but I said the lady with the braids, she just got her the week before last. Friday, not last Friday, but the Friday, the week of the trial. Or the one before the week of the trial. And then the other lady that was talking, there's 3 lawyers, she just got her 2 weeks ago. Okay. They said, "Did Caesar pay for any of your lawyer fees?" Nothing. "Did Sunstar pay your lawyer fees?" Nothing. Tori Tori or his dad, "Are they paying us to represent you?" She got 3 lawyers that she had to bring on. I didn't know that they're all separate. Yeah, so those 3 lawyers are all separate. That makes sense now. Because I was like, okay. They were. So I guess that's all separate fees. Well, well, maybe they're not. I don't know. Well, they all just came on to but I feel like they all work together, but I don't know how they're getting paid. Anyway, long story short, she ain't got no money. But what I think about what's funny is, well, girl, why you didn't get into how much y'all getting paid? Let's get into what your fee is, boo. What's your fee? How much are you ringing her up for? Okay.
Shit gonna get ugly. Okay.
They didn't really get into all that, though. I get it. They didn't really get into all that. I guess I wouldn't either. So yes. And so then we get into the cross-examination. I will tell you this, though. Hold on. What did I write down on one of these pieces of paper, child? I wrote something down today. that I was like, girl, I gotta remember this. I don't even. Oh, it might be over here. Hold on. Oh, that was about the new media thing. I'm so excited to see how that goes. So anyway, the main lawyer, I don't know his name, but the main lawyer on Megan Thee Stallion's side team, he's the older guy, the older white guy. They woke his ass up today. He was objecting and fighting and getting his thing. That nigga was asleep all week last week. Okay, because they felt like they had won that case, but today they had put some fire under his ass. And so he had came back and battled. Did you make friends with Tory Lanez during the case? Did you receive any funds? He even told her that, Milagro, you were trying to get a message to Kelsey via your station head. Oh, he was in there reaching today. He was reaching. She was like, no, I was not. I was doing a show. So that's just like, you know how I'm doing my show and I'm doing this and I'm talking about the trial. He would consider this trying to send a message to Milgaro Gramz how to get on the stand and, you know, do the case. She's like, I'm doing my damn show. I'm not sending no message to Kelsey. I could just talk to her. But the thing is, he's trying to discredit her as being media. He played all these clips where she was saying that y'all mad, like a lot of y'all hating because, you know, she's pretty much getting opportunities or she has proximity to Tory Lanez and, you know, she never claimed to be a journalist and she ain't no reporter. And, you know, well, okay, I guess I ain't no reporter anyway. So don't hold me to those standards. Now, I'd be curious to hear how that whole clip landed because it could sound like she was being sarcastic because it could be like, okay, well, y'all always claiming I'm not a journalist, so leave me alone since I ain't a fucking journalist anyway. But if now that I know what I know from Megan's team, they cropped it so the punchline can be, I ain't no fucking journalist anyway. I know now because they're fighting to see if she's going to get considered to be media to get the media protections. But what I learned about Megan's team is, girl, you got to ask them to open up that parameter real quick so we can see how we got there. Because they'll crop it right to the bullshit. I ain't no motherfucking journalist anyway. Like, and that's all you hear. And of course, everybody's gonna be like, oh, wow, she claiming she ain't no journalist. Because then he even came back and was like, so are you gonna still be asking the judge to grant you media protections after you've been stating you ain't a journalist? You ain't a reporter? And I think that you know that that's not true, that, you know, HBO called you a reporter. I don't think that they did. But so I don't really trust what they be saying because they be cropping it to what they need. So I don't know. I think she was trending at number 10 on Station Head when she on Twitter when she got sued. It was her name, right? And he was like, yeah, so what, you had thousands of your followers, 27,000 of your followers, and they were watching and like this, and they were listening, and she's like, no, this is on Twitter. This is on Twitter. I was trending on there. Like, he was just like reaching, and she was like, what are you talking about? This is Twitter. Like, no one, I'm not broadcasting. I was trending because people were dragging me for getting sued. But he was trying to make it seem like she was trending for doing some work for Tory Lanez and broadcasting. It was like, I'm like, this nigga is really reaching. Oh, because she was like, ain't shit changed. But ain't nobody going to jail. I'm still going to talk my and I'm still going to live life. So he played that audio because she was talking about how she got sued, but ain't nothing really changing. She's still going to do her thing. And he was like, okay, let's talk about that. How you said you're still going to do the same things that you've done to Megan. She's like, that's not what I meant. It meant more like, no matter how this thing go, I'm not going to jail, so I'll be all right. but I can still do my show. I've been doing my show. But he was trying to make it seem like I'm still gonna talk about that B regardless. But yeah, I'm still gonna like. Girl, he was really trying it. He's really trying it. They were going back and forth for a while. You said that Megan lied under oath. He said no. She said no. I posed the question. You were wanting your people to pretty much. So he said you're willing to. You want people to sit around while you're posing a question. Is that the dream? Is that the draw? Like, so you want, because he was like, that's the draw. Like, what's the draw? Like, bashing Megan the Stallion and, like posing questions. And Milagro was like, no, I'm the draw. I was like, oh, she ate that. Then he started dragging her. Do you have any proofs or facts that Megan Thee Stallion's a liar? This is what Milagro lawyer should have been doing. Do you have any proof and facts that she's a liar? You said that Daystar didn't give you a single dime, but you testified that there was a Zelle. I don't know if, or was it Sunstar? One of them star niggas. Milagro was then saying she think that Megan is the proof. She said, you think a jury convicted Tory Lanez because because she was saying that it was the holidays, it was a lot going on. It was kind of like people were trying to, they only deliberated for 2 days. And he said, you think that Tory Lanez, a jury convicted Tory Lanez because Christmas was coming? Essentially, she was like, girl, it just was moving too fast. They didn't have all the details. She kind of was saying the integrity of the trial was a little bit corrupt and things like that. She kept talking about that. And then he was like, you keep talking about, black people. And then, because she kept saying, black people and going through court cases and just different things that black people deal with. And essentially he kept saying, like, you keep trying to make this about black people and courts being corrupt. He's like, I'm tired of hearing about that. Like, let's get to the real issue at hand here. And she goes, I'm so sorry that you're tired of hearing about black people issues today. She started caring with her and him be getting into it. Then they started playing these videos where she was in, he was 800 feet away from the bitch. Fucking, he was 1,000 away feet from the bitch. And as we being related, this right, so she just talking all kind of shit about Megan Thee Stallion. She was bragging about how she had got the exclusive from Daystar and how she was going to read that exclusive out to everybody like a book. He said, so you're just selling free Tory on your platform, aren't you? You're just selling free Tory, ain't you? Just selling it. I think they had posted a picture. I couldn't really see it. They didn't put it into evidence because her lawyer objected immediately. But I think it was a picture with a note on it that said, fuck you, Megan, with Milagro. I'm like, girl, they better not try to get that. I'm like, they get that in there. Miss Thing is cooked. Why you got a sticky note or something that said, fuck you, Megan? Like, she's like, girl, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, is that say fuck you, Meg? With her face on it? Like, she got a note hanging up. Fuck you, Meg. They said, but they didn't show it on the big screens. I could see it on the back of the computers. They did not want that to get into evidence. That nigga was trying to put that up there, though. What, I don't know what it said. Maybe I'm being dramatic. Oh God, that's so funny. They said you have no evidence that Megan didn't get shot. They were basically trying to say, you're not a journalist. You're not a journalist. Like, Tory shot Megan. You lied out and you put out gossip. She said, I didn't lie. I posed the questions. They said, do you talk to your kids about what you do? Objection. He said, well, wait. Well, how old are your kids? They're 12, 13. She said her kids don't have social media. So she said she's proud of what she does. Eventually she'll tell her kids, but right now she's just not. Then there was a DM with Tori's number. Tori said he wanted to talk to her. And it was funny because it was December 13, 2022. And she was like, yeah, that's his number. This goes to show you how much I did talk to him. Bitch, you got his number during the trial. Then she was basically saying, no one has been able to prove that Tori's offered me $1 million. He kept saying you were helping Tory Lanez when you were working with Tory Lanez. She also talked about when she went to Miami. She went to Miami twice. She went to dinner. She said, I went to dinner with them, but girl, it was the same day, just different wigs. Okay, I had a daytime wig and a dinner wig. Bitch, pay it. She said, I cannot be bought for any price, let alone a measly $3,000. She said, I've been blacklisted. She also threw shade at Megan Cuniff. She said, she didn't say Megan Cuniff, but I knew who she was talking about. She said, listen, she could have went the other way, and she could have been a celebrity for it. She said, especially if she would have leaned into it like other reporters did, and they capitalized off of it for the fame. That was a Megan Cuniff slide. I didn't benefit anything. He kept trying to make it seem like she was trying to send a message to Kelsey. That was so crazy to me. I said he's grasping for straws. Because I think there was a message where Sunstar had tweeted and told Milagro to call him, or he wanted to talk to her. It was something like that, right? And it was some emojis. It was a heart, purple heart, black heart, and maybe a green heart. And he said, well, what does those emojis mean? Is that some secret code message there? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, do you have anything? Is that a secret code? Like, what are you saying? Like, he tried that. Like, girl, they're emojis. He was just reaching. Are you a reporter? I believe so. Oh God. Oh God. They pulled up this picture. She looking dumb as hell. Do you remember, who remembers when Rock Nation, I mean, when the daddy was outside, you know, and he did the press conference of when he did the press conference with outside the courthouse, when he kind of went into the Rock Nation stuff. Do y'all remember? Y'all gotta find that clip. I promise you. They got a clip. They pulled her up in 4K. They pulled her up when the daddy did the little press conference outside, and Milagro was sitting with the shoulder off shirt with the big black glasses, standing behind the family, like she was with the family. And they pulled that up. You're a reporter. You standing here like you the family. Girl, you don't look like no reporter. You look like you with the family. Girl, why they pull her big up like that? And she's sitting behind Sunstar and the mama with the wig and the family, and she's standing there right there looking stupid with the family. I'm like, girl, they got her in 4K. They got her stupid ass in 4K sitting there with the family. Dummy. She is stupid. Why would they do that? Oh, God. Ooh. Jesus, that took me out. That took me out. It was the glasses. I have to find that. Jesus. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, God. Oh, let me see if I can find that, girl. Hold on. Oh, please. Let me see if I can find that video. Oh, is this it? Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Oh, God. Let me see if I can find that video. Jeez. Oh, is this it right here? Please be it. Oh, this is it. Look at her stupid ass. I found it. Look at her dumb ass. You get them stupid. Girl, I found it. Where is that video? Look at her. Hold on. Yeah. Look at her stupid ass. Oh, hold on. Oh, I think I found it. Look, here she go.
You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call.
Hold on.
Alex Spiro.
Look at her.
Desiree Perez. And the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z. Yes. You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and tortured the souls of young men. And you're still doing it. The only independent witness
they pulled that up in
court is a man whose name is
oh, God. They pulled that up, you stupid mother. Yeah. They put that shit up in court. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was just sitting there. I'm like, bitch, we are really in federal court right now. I'm gagging. But they just trying to show like, girl, you was a friend. And then they went into audio where they pulled her up and she was saying, I did not remember the one I always tell her about. I did not come in here as media and womp, and I was with the family, and they pulled that up. She later explained that she had to do that because she was late or running late, and somehow there was nowhere to sit, so she had to get in with them. But they definitely pulled that up where she was talking about how she was bragging about not being media and she was with the family. I am not me, because the whole thing of today is that she's not media. So they're using everything that she said, saying that she's not media. So because they don't want her to be considered media because they did not send her a cease and desist. So that that defamation could get dropped. So the whole thing today was to prove that she was a media, and they were going to try to use her own words against her. So they got her in there talking about, I did not need a media pass, and I was with the family, and I wasn't even media. And girl, yes, it was given all of that. Girl, that was so funny. And she was saying, what woman did you see anybody? She said, go out and ask anybody there. What women did you see sitting with the family at court with Tory Lanez besides his sister and me, his other sister? I'm like, girl. Then they pulled that clip up. Girl, now why is she up there calling him, talking about she hearing her sister? I'm so sorry. Yo, she is crazy. Girl, what? Ooh. they said no, because they were trying to make it seem like, oh. Then she told him, you have to stop talking when the witness is talking, because he kept talking over her. Then he was like, you know what, you sat up there and you were making fun of Megan Thee Stallion and laughing at her getting shot and laughing at her pain. And in 2025, you have her crying. She was like, she lied. I don't know how many times, but she lied a lot. So you just have to place it where it lands. Like, no one is laughing at her for being shot. Megan did not remain consistent with her story. She said, they said you gave everybody permission to say she didn't get shot and to laugh. And Milagro like, girl, that is not fair for y'all to say that, to blame me and say that I gave everybody in the world permission to say that Megan Thee Stallion didn't get shot. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're kind of trying it. That's why I'm like, girl, yes, Milagro is wrong, but I can't go with it. They trying to say that Milagro Gramz is the whole reason why the whole world believes Megan Thee Stallion is a liar. It's all her fault. And Megan Thee Stallion is traumatized and can't go to work, can't make no money because of Milagro Gramz in her Twitter. I'm not going for that. I just like, come on, girl. Like, girl, no. Y'all trying it. Y'all trying that. Y'all trying. Milagro gave the world permission to laugh and berate and hate Megan Thee Stallion. Like, I'm not doing that with y'all. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's crazy. Y'all know that's crazy. That's crazy. Then they said, actually, Milagro said her manager should be the one getting sued. He's the one sitting up here sending her all the stuff, stressing her out. Not me. He should be getting sued. Talking about T. Ferris. They said he goes, and then the guy goes say, so when you started working with the Petersons, she said, I have not worked with them. He just started jumping. So when you started working with the Petersons, it's like, girl, you're not gonna get me to start. Why are you trying to say I work with them? I never said that. Why would you jump out the window and just start a whole nother thing when I started working with the Petersons? He said, you expect us to believe that you don't work with them? She said, you can believe what you want, but you haven't proved I worked with them this whole trial. I'm like, ooh. Okay. So that's when they started. She played it. They played an audio of her where she said she thinks people feel some type of way about her relationship with Tori, and she thinks that people feel a way about the love that Tori's dad has for her and the care that basically Tori has for her. There's a lot of people who try to be an ally of mine just to get close to Daystar and Sunstar. That's what she was pretty much saying. She said. Then they were playing, I never went to school for journalism. What I look like, right? What article did I fucking write? Then what I look like? What you mad for? I shouldn't be considered a news source anyway. So they cropped that and played that. And so that was to discredit her. So it's like, but I never wrote no article. But I never did this. I never did that. You get what I'm saying? But I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if that's going to work. And he gonna say, you love that Megan was talking about you in the gallery, huh? You loved that. You loved it. You loved that she was talking about you. You thought it was funny that she was crying on the stand. You were making fun of her. No, they said she said no, I felt like to be non-biased, I had to report on it all. So I just reported all of the stuff. Are you media? She was like, I'm new media. People should take us serious. They said, well, shouldn't you pay damages when you get it wrong in business? You got it wrong. She said, I'm an entertainer. So basically she started talking about how she's an entertainer, she's a part of new media, she gives commentary, she gives her opinions and all these different things, and how a lot of traditional media kind of hate because we get a lot of the, we get the viewers, we get the recognition, and we should be respected, like everyone else, and we deserve a seat, and we should be respected as media. It's not the traditional, but we have to get venues. We have to spend money. Like, I fly myself out here and do this. I have to pay for my own hotel. I have to pay for my own lights and cameras and this. No one's flying me out. I have to produce this show. I have to go to the courtroom and then come back and stream. All this is, y'all don't see what this looks like. It looks just like a microphone in a computer, but girl, it's a lot of cords and there's a lot of going on around here just to get here. So I feel her on that. Like, it's not like, respect us because we're really doing the work and spending a lot of money. So we'll see, though. We'll see. They rested for right now. They're going to be back on the stand tomorrow. I won't be there, but I'm rooting for Milgaro Gramz for them to get that media protection. I'm rooting for her on that. But yeah, it was a better day for both of them, honestly. It was a better day for both sides. They fought today. That old man woke up on Megan's side because I felt like he was getting too comfortable. He woke his ass up because Milgaro's team came with it today. So it was a good fight. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm telling you, I don't know how this is going to go. This can go either way, especially if she get that media thing. I don't know about that deep fake. That deep fake is still murky, but I mean, some people might be swayed and some people may not. I don't know how this jury is going to be instructed. I don't know if they're going to go unanimous or it could be 50-50, 40-60. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be a good time. And I'm excited. But guys, this is a big step in the direction if Milgaro Gramz gets granted that media coverage. Every YouTuber, media personality that's actually doing the work should be rooting for her to get that because they have to start putting respect on our names. And yes, you're going to notice a lot of journalists and those traditional media people, they're not going to be here for the new media. Anytime we go to court, they're always going to be so ready for us to get sued. But it's not just because they feel like we're just getting it wrong, but they feel like we in the way. A lot of them feel like they went to school and they did this, they did that, and we shouldn't be there. But girl, at the end of the day, we honestly, it's night and day. Y'all can report. We can give commentary. Like, we don't have to compete. Because I feel like I don't compete with traditional journalists because I feel like they do something that I can't do. And I feel like I do something that they can't do. But it works together. I don't know what the big deal is, but it is what it is. But it also made me feel like that's probably why Megan Thee Stallion didn't sue Joe Budden and didn't sue academics in them, because it's like they can be considered as media right off the bat. And you got to at least send them a cease and desist first. They would get protected under those laws. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks for all the donations and super chats. It's been great. I can't wait to do the next case with you guys, but we're still going to be talking about it. But I just got to get back home and travel, chat. I got things I got to do. But I love y'all so much. This has been great. Miami's been the time. I'm signing off. It's a great job. All right, y'all. So we'll still be back. Maybe not tomorrow, but maybe Wednesday to talk about, the verdict. All right. I love y'all so much. I appreciate you guys so much. And shout out to each and every person that has donated and helped us get here. It's been fun. It was last minute. But protect new media. New media reigns supreme. Let's go. Love you guys. Peace out.